Many tennis fans, certainly sports fans in general, know about the new book, the memoir written by Andre Agassi, one of the greatest tennis players who ever lived, called Open. The book is extraordinary for a number of reasons, and Open is a very good title, as he's very open and honest in the book. But let's look for a moment at the marketing strategy to sell this book. Don't think for a minute that Andre Agassi isn't extremely savvy about marketing or that he hasn't always been extremely savvy about marketing. He released excerpts of that book long before the book was actually available in the bookstores because he wanted to stir up interest in the book. What types of things did he release? The fact that he had taken methamphetamine. That creates a huge amount of interest, not just the sensational idea that he was taking drugs during his professional career, but the fact that he would be that open and honest about it. He also said, and very, very important and big splash in the media when he said it, he said he hated tennis. He hated tennis because of the way his father drummed tennis into him and drummed all these goals of being the greatest tennis player who ever lived in him that made him stay on that tennis court for hours and hours and hours, hitting forehands and backhands and serves so that he could be the greatest player who ever lived. All the inner turmoil he experienced in being forced to practice day after day after day. Well, that is a good story, and I'm sure to some extent it's true. But when you look at his career, there is no way he hated tennis. There's no way at all he hated tennis. I think he actually loves the game in many respects, but he's ambivalent about it for the way he was raised on his tennis game. Why did he become so savvy about marketability? Well, let's look at what happened in his career. He plays with his father in the backyard tennis court, but by age 13 or 14, he's down at Nick Bollettieri's tennis academy in Florida. This is a high-cost, top-end tennis academy for some of the wealthiest kids in the country and some of the best prospects, tennis prospects in the country. Nick Bollettieri is a lawyer who understands the game of tennis and how to develop professional tennis players. So sure enough, he's there for 3 years, and he is the best player his age, maybe in the entire world, one of the best players. So at 17, 18, he's getting to the U.S. Open, he's getting to Wimbledon, he's winning big matches, and he's making big money. Well, the real money in professional sports is endorsement contracts. Everybody must understand. It's endorsement contracts. It's not winning championships. Tiger Woods makes about 10% on the pro golf circuit as he makes from his endorsements. And most of that endorsement money is Nike. All right, let's get back to Agassi. So he knows that that Nike contract is going to be the biggest and most important financial achievement he will make in his entire tennis career. So he works on his image. He works on attracting attention. He's not just another tennis player. He wears jeans on the tennis court. He has long flowing hair on the tennis court. He says outrageous things in interviews. He's a bit of a tennis rebel. And all of a sudden, his image is the most important image in the tennis world. Whose image is not as important as Andre Agassi's? Pete Sampras, who is really the best tennis player in the world. So when it comes down to contract time with Nike, who's going to get the bigger endorsement contract? You guessed it, Andre Agassi. He is not the player Sampras is. He does not beat Sampras in major championships. Sampras wins way more major championships than Agassi, but Agassi gets a 10-year, $100 million contract from Nike, and Sampras only gets 75. Why? Because Agassi understood image is everything. It's even ironic. One of the other endorsers he does is the Canon camera company. He does a very famous Canon ad where he says, image is everything. He wasn't just saying that to be sly or funny or clever. He knew it, he learned it, and he applied it in his tennis career, and he applied it to this book that he's written. And the book is selling marvelously well. But be suspicious when he says he hates tennis. And as far as the methamphetamine use, well, it did attract an enormous amount of attention. I give him credit for being honest about it. And actually, I'm not concerned that he took methamphetamine. It's a mistake, but he admitted it. I am concerned that he did not tell the truth to the ATP, that he wrote that letter that was full of fabrications about the methamphetamine use. That would draw a lot more concern from me. So Agassi, very interesting character. Good to know his background because that will tell you a lot more about what he does today.